What's the sweetest thing your current or ex-partner did for you that you will always remember? Got food poisoning from a restaurant. Threw up on the bed of my now ex-boyfriend and ruined it. He didn't make me feel bad at all. He nursed my pukey self back to health for a week. Bought me meds and did all my university assignments until I was okay. How your partner takes care of you when you're sick tells a lot about their true character and how much they value you, the relationship. The little, selfless things my GF does every day that would go unnoticed in any other relationship. Like the thoughtful meals, time spent with my family, draping a blanket over me when I am on the couch, and other acts of devotion. She is always thinking of my well-being, and I feel the same way about her. Small and consistent things are always the best gifts. My husband threw me a surprise wedding. When it came to wedding planning, my mother acted as if she was planning her own wedding, and would tell my aunt, who was helping make the wedding happen, to do things that I said no to. Like I wanted it to take place at night. My mom said daytime and they were looking for a place to have it in the day. I said light pink and dark red as the colors. My mother said dark blue and gold and was planning it as such, etc. This made me hate the whole idea of having a wedding. So my partner and I decided to elope instead. Super last minute. We went to the courthouse and picked a date 2 days from the day we went in. Rented the dress and suit, and it was gonna be just us and the witnesses. The day before, everyone kept saying that it's bad luck for us to be with each other. So I stayed with my family and he stayed with his. Reddit. I kid you not. This man planned a whole wedding reception in 24 hours. His sisters work event planning. The wife of a friend of his had a balcony available, and the wife of the best man is a photographer. Everyone worked their behinds off to make it happen. The best part? He did everything exactly how I wanted it. The colors, the decorations for the tables, the cake, everything. Our wedding was absolutely perfect. I had the best time of my life, and I would never want it any other way. I'm really happy for you guys. I mean, if it hadn't been perfect, you would have hated it all your life. He saved the day. Truly a knight in the shining armor. Also, happy cake day. Early in our relationship, when my husband started sleeping over, he needed to have the light off to sleep. I had always left it on before, so when I turned out the light, I would blindly reach out my hand and wobble towards the bed until I felt his hand touching mine and pulling me close. The first time he was deployed, I would turn out the lights to go to bed and stand there reaching out my hand and crying that his hand wasn't there to guide mine. It's so dumb, but when I was 14, this guy knew my fav color was purple. He came in one day with a purple backpack saying, "I got this BC, I knew you would like it." Quote. My heart instantly melted and I couldn't tell him I actually hated it. BC, it was like that ugly Justin Bieber purple. LMAU, and I still think about that at 23. Bought me a 6-pack of beer on our way home, so I had some when I got off work at midnight. The male flowers. Male flowers indeed. Married me lol. JK, but it's hard to think about one thing. I love that he always puts my socks on and cover me in bed every night. Brings every meal in bed if I want to. The not so little things that happen in the routine are the sweetest. I will always remember how he proposed though. Sounds like a keeper. How did he propose, if I may ask? I used to get really anxious, nervous with public demonstrations of affection. So he waited until we were alone in the car, proposed and took me to eat pizza for dinner. It was perfect. Meant it when he gave me a hug. Don't really know any other way of saying that. Hugs are the best form of intimacy. A while back I worked a job where I had to be there at 4 a.m. to open. At the time, my wife worked as a bartender, so I would always be asleep by the time she got home. She would get home from working a full day at her own job, and cook me an entire home-cooked meal, pack it up in Tupperware and put it in a lunchbox along with a little note. every single day. Dear sweet mother of God, I love that woman. Less than 3. I get to return the favor now because I am working from home and she's working an office job. So I pack her a lunch every day. And make sure to include the little note. This is so fucking cute. Held open the car door for me pretty much every time I got into the car. He did this for pretty much the entirety of our 5-year relationship. It's the smallest thing, but when I was at work a few months ago, I posted something on my story about me having a bad day. My crush, who I'd been talking to frequently, saw it, asked for my email, and sent me a Starbucks gift card. She put a note with it saying, "Treat yourself to a caramel frap." I was so touched because this girl I really like sent me something to help me feel better. And B, when we first met about a month prior, we went to NYC together on a day trip with mutual friends. We went to a Starbucks and I ordered the same exact drink that was in the note. But they messed it up? I texted her about it later and she said, "Yeah, I remember you were so disappointed last time. So I hope your next one is better." We dated for 2 months. But she told me she wants to wait for a while and focus on other things. And I shouldn't talk to her. So it's been 8 months. And I'm still waiting. At least keep in touch with her. Would be a shame if she got away, man. My ex gave me that one love where it only exists in books. It was so beautiful and I will forever be grateful for the way he treated me. He told me I should be treated like a queen and that's exactly what he did. He was there for me. He gifted me stuff. He held me in his arms when I was depressed. He could have been doing so much important things, but he pushed it all aside just to be with me. Unfortunately, just like fiction love, I found out his love wasn't real. He told me everything we did together didn't mean anything to Hi Monsieur. I always knew he was still hung up over his ex. It had been 10 years since she has left him when he was 14 or 12. And I was right. The only reason why he stayed with me is because he felt bad for hurting me. It has been 99 days, so the breakup is still fresh. I've been doing far worse when I should have been healing. I don't sleep at all anymore. To conclude, the sweetest thing he gave me turned out to be the most bitter thing of all. Love has been destroyed for me. I'm so sorry to hear that. I consider myself an empathic person and yet I cannot even fully comprehend how much pain you must be going through right now. It's so tragic that such a beautiful love had to end this way. The harsher the storm, the brighter the rainbow. Love will find you again. Till then, hang in there, internet friend. Gentle hug. You truly don't know how much your words mean to me. I didn't know how much I needed that hug and that lovely quote. In the end, I told him I forgive Hi Monsieur. The last thing I want to do is cause him pain which he's already dealing with from his non-existent ex. I know I'll never stop loving Hi Monsieur. Right now I'm grieving and I'm alone. I'm really alone. This pain is unbearable. I don't think I will heal for a long time. I'm scarred. I'm actually scared of love, but yet every night at 11:11, I still beg God, universe, fate, and destiny with whatever broken pieces of my heart that I have left now, to send someone who says I love you more and actually mean it. Shush. Hey, it's all going to be okay. You have such a big heart that you forgave him and considered his pain over yours. You have so much love to give. I'm sure someone amazing will find you one day and hug you so tightly that all these broken pieces of your heart will come back together. Just you wait. You're not alone. All of Reddit is with you. We're all friends and always there for each other. Always. If you love the wrong one so much, imagine how much you could love the right one. My ex was with me when I had brain surgery. My post-op pain relief was piss poor. But I wasn't really in any state to do anything about it myself. Between the recovery and the level of the pain I was in, when she visited me and saw how much pain I was in, she immediately stormed off and tracked down the doc assigned to the case. She confronted him with, "Why the hell is your patient not on appropriate pain and nausea relief?" post-brain surgery spiel and broke down exactly what classes of meds I should be on and when. We were both veterinarians. It was a bit of an extrapolation, but it was close enough. I heard later from one of the nurses that the junior doc that was watching me post-op was terrified. He'd somehow upset a neurosurgeon he'd never met before and ran immediately to one of the head docs to verify that that protocol she'd suggested was a correct one. Within about 30 minutes of her visiting, I had much improved post-op hair. Break up with me. Not sarcasm, monsieur. Why do you say so? If that's not too personal to share. He made me beautiful art for me to hang up on my wall. He brought me flowers to mount on my wall. I'm actually thinking of doing that. I can't draw for shit, but I can code a bit of generative art. I'm thinking of generating a picture of hers and getting it printed on a canvas and gifting it to her for her birthday. Whoa. Say no more and just do it. Sounds fantastic. Will do. Exclamation mark. My husband is little things he knows makes life easier for me. Like bring me coffee in bed every morning. Or he'll hear me say I'm craving rose with dinner and put it in the fridge to chill so it's ready when I want it. He also does the laundry, cooks, and removes bugs from the house, but it's those little things I find so thoughtful and romantic. Lol. He sure sounds like an ideal husband. I had ECT a couple years ago. Basically they knocked me out and zapped my brain. My favorite story is that I would get out around 9 a.m. or so. I would demand to get a dipped cone from McDonald's. And each time my spouse would have to gently remind me that we do this every time. Every time I got out, I demanded a dipped cone because I haven't had one in forever. It got to the point where my spouse warned other people that were to pick me up to make sure not to get into an argument with me. Listen to me rant about how I haven't had one in forever, then go get one. Never leaving my side when I lost the ability to walk for over a decade. Whoa man, just wow. I mean, it takes a different level of love to do this. I will never do him justice. Not just the above mentioned, but 12 surgeries he held my hand through. The best kind of human. I used to write her poetry. I was like 16 and thought I was in a romance novel. For our 1-year anniversary she wrote me a poem using each letter of my first plus last names as the first letter of each line. And it was brilliant. It always stuck with me how thoughtful that was. I had my daughter back in December. Began the induction process on Monday. Gave birth on Wednesday. And was discharged Friday evening. Saturday evening had to go back to the ER because of high blood pressure. I was diagnosed with postpartum preeclampsia. Upon lying on the bed in the ER and being told I was gonna be readmitted, my husband was holding our 3-day-old daughter and I started crying. I said, "I'm sorry. I know you didn't want to come back here. I'm sorry." He said, "Don't be sorry. It's not your fault." And what did I say during those vows? In sickness and in health. Husband that man. Again, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.